You know, many people don't know that Santa Claus was actually a real person. And I was shocked to find out a few years myself that he actually existed. And many people don't know, so we're gonna educate you. We're gonna let you know who Saint Nick is.
Yeah.
Okay, and Anna's gonna start off for you.
So the
story of Saint Nicholas.
The true story of Santa Claus begins with Nicholas, who was born during the 3rd century in a village of Patara, the southern coast of Turkey, that is. His wealthy parents raised him as a Christian, and they died in an epidemic with, Nicholas was still young. He obeyed the words of Jesus, which told him to sell what you own and give the money to the poor. He used his whole inheritance to help those in need, the sick, the poor, etc. He dedicated his life to God and became Bishop of Myra as a young man. It's very impressive. He was known for his generosity and his love for children. Now, the Turkish people, they had an accent. They would say, Saint Nicholas, Saint Nicholas. And as the Turkish people migrated to other parts of the world and talked of this Saint Nicholas, it ended up sounding like Santa Claus. And that's allegedly how Santa Claus came about. Saint Nick is known as the patron and protector of children. He dresses in red and rewards good children. He's accompanied by a man named Black Peter, who was a companion of Saint Nick. Black Peter, they say, comes down the chimney before Saint Nick and punishes bad kids with turnips, coal, and stones.
Bad Peter?
He's covered in soot.
Oh, I've never even heard of him.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear that. It's interesting to learn about the different myths and everything.
That is. And under the Roman Empire, who ruthlessly persecuted Christians, Bishop Nicholas suffered for his fate. And by the way, we got this from stnicholascenter.org.
Oh, wow, he suffered from his fate.
He was exiled and imprisoned. The prisons were so full of bishops, priests, and deacons, there was no room for the real criminals, murderers, and thieves and robbers. Now, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's not right.
That's not right.
What's the jail for, then?
It's for Saint Nick. I mean, he was a good guy. He was a good guy. After his release, Nicholas attended the Council of Nicaea, I believe, in AD 325. He died December 6, AD 343, in Myra, and was buried in his cathedral church, where a unique relic called manna, I think it's called, manna, formed his grave. The liquid substance, said to have healing powers, fostered the growth of devotion to Nicholas, and the anniversary of his death became a celebration of St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. December 19th on the Julian calendar. So December 6th and the 19th on the Julian calendar. Through the centuries, many stories and legends have told of St. Nick's life and deeds. These accounts help us understand his extraordinary character and why he is so beloved as a protector and helper of those in need, which he really was. He was a protector. One story tells of a poor man with 3 daughters. In those days, a young woman's father had to offer husbands something of value, a dowry. The larger the dowry, the better the chance that a young woman would find a good husband. So they basically, sold him off. So without a dowry, a woman was unlikely to marry. The poor man's daughter, without dowries, were therefore destined to be sold into slavery. Mysteriously, on 3 different occasions, a bag of gold appeared in their home, providing the needy dowries. The bags of gold tossed through an open window are said to have landed in stockings or shoes left before the fire to dry. This led to the custom of children hanging stockings or putting out shoes, eagerly awaiting gifts from St. Nick. Sometimes the story is told with gold balls instead of bags of gold. That is why 3 gold balls, sometimes represented as oranges, are the symbols of St. Nick. And so St. Nicholas is a gift giver.
That's so nice. And that's what happened. That's a good thing. Good things happen to good people. Bad things happen to good people too.
Well, it's so amazing that these thousands of years later, we still celebrate
The
Santa
tradition
Claus.
is so strong.
We do.
One of the oldest stories showing St. Nicholas as a protector of children takes place long after his death. The townspeople of Myra were celebrating the good saint on the eve of his feast day when a band of Arab pirates from Crete came into the district. They stole treasures from the church of St. Nicholas to take away their booty. Army mateys! As they were leaving town, they snatched a young boy, Basilios, to make him into a slave. The emir or ruler selected Basilios to be his personal cupbearer. As not knowing the language, Basilios could not understand what the king said to those around him. For the next year, Basilios he actually waited on the king, bringing him wine into a beautiful golden cup. For Basilios' parents, they were devastated of the loss of their child. The years slowly passed, filled with grief. As the next St. Nicholas feast day approached, Basilios' mother would not join in the festivity, as it was now a day of tragedy. However, she was persuaded to have a simple observance at home with quiet prayers for Basilios' safekeeping. Meanwhile, as Basilios was fulfilling his task of serving the emir, he was suddenly whisked away, and St. Nicholas appeared to the terrible boy, blessed him, set him down back at his home in Myra. Imagine the joy and wonderment when Basilios amazingly appeared before his parents, still holding the king's golden cup. This was the first story told of St. Nicholas protecting children, which became his primary role in the West.
So he really was a great guy without having a reason to be a great guy. And he was imprisoned and punished for being a great person. So
persecuted.
That's terrible.
Kind of like Jesus.
Yeah. So, but, you know, I'm glad that he's become a symbol and that we represent him in the way that we do.
And the story lives on in a positive way.
And, you know, for those that say there's no real Santa Claus, there was.
Right.
There was a Santa Claus. When did you stop believing in Santa?
Well, probably when I was around 7-ish. My brother busted my bubble and told me that there was no Santa Claus.
He did?
Yeah. And then around that time, when I was 7-ish, you know, my presents would say "from Santa," but it was in my mom's handwriting.
So you
I kind
figured
of
it out.
put 2 and 2 together. But I surprisingly wasn't like shocked, or I wasn't
you weren't hurt by it or anything?
I was okay, you know, because I mean, as a kid, you know, you just want the presents, and I was just happy that I was getting presents.
I mean, it wasn't like you had a one-on-one relationship with him, so you don't really know. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just an imagination thing. So we should believe in Santa being young.
When did you start?
You know, honestly, Santa? I don't know if I ever believed in Santa. My parents were sort of, they just didn't care that. You know, like, just give me gifts and stuff. You know, I remember being like 7 years old and going to some event, and there was a Santa Claus there. And I remember my dad saying to me, "You don't believe in Santa, do you?" And that right there, like, crushes it. Like, well, I guess not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't ever remember believing in it, but it was always fun getting presents under the tree.
Yeah,
that part was fun.
And making cookies and leaving them for Santa. And
I mean, children love Santa.
Did you ever peek, like, at your gifts beforehand?
No. No. I think one of my cousins, he opens all the gifts and then rewraps them.
Wow.
When he was younger.
And they never know.
Yeah, that's like, that's scandalous right there.
Scandalous. But I did actually peek. My mom, she had a list of all the things that me and
you did it on
wanted.
purpose?
And like I peeked in her notebook because she like checked off the gifts that she got. So I knew what gifts I had. But at the same time, it was like, yes, I'm getting that, yes. But at the same time, I wasn't surprised.
And so how old were you?
Probably like 12 or something. But it's best to just, you know, be surprised and let what happens happen.
Yeah, well, now that you're older, you're not as desperate for the items, so.
Now that I'm older, I like to, like, give. Like, I like to give. I don't care about receiving. I get excited, like, when I get somebody something.
And they really like it? Yeah, that's
the best.
That's the best part.
Have you ever gotten someone a gift and, like, they didn't like it? Doesn't that, like, break your heart?
Yeah, that does suck.
Or they pretend to like it. You could tell they're pretending.
That's true. What about getting a gift you really don't like either? I mean, that's kind of... I mean, you try to be appreciative, but you really don't like it.
Yeah.